Don't you worry, the clip's about to begin, but don't forget to subscribe. Or else, don't make me turn this website around.
Welcome, Aniken in Illinois. How are you?
Doing great. How are you?
I've been better. I've been worse. So yeah, I'm good.
Awesome. So I'm going to try and word this out as much as I can without being weird. So my wife and I yesterday were having a conversation about this thing I heard on another atheist podcast about a female whose daughter was expelled from a Catholic church, I think, because she had an OnlyFans account. And I had stated that I thought that that was bullshit. And I started going on about, you know, how I wish that this female had basically fired back a little bit of, okay, well, if you think that's bad, then you guys should check your own asses. And we kind of got into a little bit of debate. And her thing is you can't blame, you know, there are certain churches that are better than others, but in my eyes, honestly, from everything I've heard, the Catholic Church in general has done a lot of crappy things, and I don't excuse any of them for anything. And I think her point was you can't hate everybody for a certain number of people's mistakes, but I disagree on that one, because if you're part of the same church or religion or basically group, and you're not stopping something bad from happening, then you deserve to be in that. You deserve to be ridiculed. I would say either no matter what or whatever. And I wanted to get your opinion. Am I right or am I wrong?
Well, so first of all, when you look at something like Catholic churches, there's a hierarchy. And from my perspective, the Catholic Church is rotten to the core, right up to the very top. And part of this was because the organization itself engaged in criminal activities to shuffle priests who had abused children around to new locations in order to avoid prosecution. That doesn't mean that everybody who sits in a pew in a Catholic church is in favor of that. It does mean that they are somewhat complicit. They're donating to an organization which we've repeatedly had to expose. I tend to cut individuals a little bit of slack in assuming what they do or don't know about the corrupt nature of the church on the whole. But this, you know, they're going to remove somebody for having an OnlyFans. Well, why is that surprising? I mean, for an organization with celibate priests dictating what everybody else can do sexually, it's not. Why would it ever be surprising that a Catholic church would be opposed to a young woman or forget about age and gender, anybody with an OnlyFans? So I don't know. I don't know how to say whether you're right or wrong, other than what the Catholic Church is doing wrong, but nobody is wrong, but nobody should be surprised by it.
Yeah, that seems. I hear what you're saying too. These people are expressing their values, right? That is part of their value system that is explicitly stated. And I have nothing else to add except to say, when you do what you can with the powers that are available to you, and if you can put more good in the world, please do. And if you can take some bad out of the world, please do. And if you don't know what's going on in the Catholic Church, or you don't know what they're doing, and you're just going to your mass and you're trying to help your community, you're probably a good person doing good things, despite the fact you might be part of an organization that does heinous things at the top. But once you do have that knowledge, or you do have power to do something about it, that's whenever you are charged with responsibility in my mind. And so that's when it's time. That's when you can become complicit, and you have to do something about being complicit.
Right. Yeah. I think honestly, the only reason why it came up, one of her cousins, whenever I did have a Facebook, I posted a lot of stuff, you know, a lot of atheist experience, a lot of talk heathen and stuff like that. And one of her family members is a Christian and got butthurt about what I was posting, and said, you know, we're not all like that. So I told her on that fact, you know, it's the same. It's the same fucking thing in my mind. You know, if you're gonna get butthurt about something that I said just because you are in that fact Christian, then how about you go talk to those people that are doing that harm and actually try and tell them, hey, this is not right, because I'm sorry, but I'm gonna, if I can try and what's the word I'm looking for? Try and help them understand, okay, this is why I don't particularly like your religion. This is why I'm saying this stuff, and I'm going to do that. And if you don't like it, I mean, I'm not getting onto you necessarily, but I definitely am getting onto your religion because I was in it, and I know how those assholes worked. I know how they did it. So it just went on from there. But yeah, I agree. Honestly,
so I don't know how to address any of this. I don't know how to address any of this without specifics, because quite frankly, I've seen people talk about, I was just saying something about religion, and somebody chimed in and said, well, we're not all like that. For me, if somebody chimes in and says, well, we're not all like that, after I say something, exposing the Catholic Church as a criminal organization, and somebody wants to say, oh, we're not all like that, then my answer is, okay, tell me how you're different. And are you still financially supporting this organization? And what do you think about that? Because if you're in agreement with me that this is doctrinally bad, that this is criminally bad, then the only difference between us is that you're still supporting something that you think is awful. And so why is that? I'd be fine with those conversations. Prove you're different.
I agree. I agree with Matt. Like as we were talking about earlier before we started taking calls, like if you want it, telling people like why you feel the way you feel about it will have less of an impact than asking them why they feel the way they feel about it. And ask those people in the organization why they support it, how they feel about it. What do you think about these things that we know that the Catholic Church is responsible for? On and on and on, and get them to start engaging in their own processing. And that's probably a lot of value there.
Yeah, that's perfect. I could not have said that any better. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Sure. Thanks for the call. Do you want to hang up on us, or did you want me to hang up? Too late. I already did it. That was the whole trick with the hang up show that I invented on day one, was asking the callers whether they wanted to hang up on us or if they wanted us to hang up on them. And sometimes I ask, and sometimes I don't really care all that much. But.
I know you actually care, Matt.
I don't care necessarily about the decision. I'm happy to let people hang up on me.
Hey, thanks for checking out this clip for The Line. While you're here, hit that like button, hit subscribe, turn on notifications, and then share this with that bitter uncle of yours who loves talking about the good old days.